Filmmaker Kabir Khan had to deal with angry shoe-wielding protesters at the Karachi airport, where he had gone to attend a marketing conference. The filmmaker, who's of course delivered movies like Bajrangi Bhaijaan and Phantom, which incidentally was banned in Pakistan, has so far been playing down the controversy. He's joining us now on the program. Kabir, the fact of the matter is that, you know, your first comments have appeared to suggest that this is a handful of people and one should not take away a larger message about Pakistan from this. How taken aback were you when these protesters surrounded you at the airport, in fact confronted you with questions about the so-called spy, Indian spy they claim to have arrested and so on?
Well, I was a bit surprised because they came out of nowhere. There were not too many of them. As I was approaching the gate of the airport, I saw a couple of guys whipping out their mobile phones and beginning to film. Initially, I thought they are like the rest of the people I was meeting on the streets of Pakistan, that they recognized me as a director and wanted to take a selfie and come. But these guys obviously got up and started screaming and shouting. I couldn't quite make out what they were saying, so I stopped and I tried to speak to them a couple of times. But I think they were more interested in making their videos than speaking with me. So I decided then I'd just carry on, and I walked straight into the terminal. It didn't really last for too long. And as I said, they were just a handful of people. So I honestly did not take it too seriously. It's only after landing here that I realized that it has become news in a big way, because I think that videos being spread a lot on social media and people are getting worried. I got a lot of calls from my friends, my family, and people, well-wishers, wondering if I was all right. So I'm totally fine, and I must say that I would not want this incident to mar my overall experience of that one day in Karachi.
Kabir, what went through your head when you were being confronted with these protesters? You'd obviously had a pretty good time otherwise. In fact, one of the Pakistani journalists tweeted that there were people falling over themselves to be photographed with you. So mostly people were warm, and then this goes and happen, which in some way speaks to the, to the awful schizophrenia of the India-Pakistan relationship.
Totally. I think, the conference that I had gone to attend, it was the International Marketing Conference. I had a session there where I was speaking at length about my films, and we spoke about Phantom, we spoke about Bajrangi Bhaijaan. Some people came up and said the reservations they had about Phantom, and I explained, my point of view about the film. It was a nice, mature discussion, and, people were very warm, as, this journalist rightly said. Hundreds of people came and, took selfies with me and spoke to me about my films. And except for this one incident that happened, as I was leaving from Karachi, everything else was really nice, and I enjoyed my day over there. But you're right. I think, at the end of the day, we know that these fringe elements, these lunatics are present everywhere, and they essentially want to, create some sort of a tamasha and get themselves on television. They want attention. This is something that actually I always keep, talking to you about, that sometimes I feel that we should just not talk about these guys, because we end up giving them the attention that they're craving for. Yeah. But, I guess it was important to come and speak and also put into perspective what happened here. I don't think, of course, what happened was, it put a bad taste in the mouth, but I don't think we should exaggerate it. I don't think we should blow it out of proportion and let it represent the majority feelings of Pakistan.
How did you, you said you tried to talk to this handful of people who were protesting, and you tried to engage with them. What were you saying to them? Like, what's the conversation you were looking to have? Because, for them, it was obviously this big statement against your movie, in particular, Phantom. They were saying Pakistan Zindabad. They'd converted it into this kind of sort of jingoist moment from their point of view. So what were you saying to them? Or if you had been able to talk to them, what would you have said to them?
Actually, honestly, Barka, it was, it looks, I think, scarier on that video than it was. It was half funny for me at that point in time, and I didn't want to take it, I knew that it could lead to a dangerous situation, but they were all over the place. I don't think were clear about exactly what they wanted to say. I stopped, as you see in the video, I stopped twice and I asked them, ki, aap kya kehna kya cha rahe hain? But he kept screaming and shouting and making sure that, probably his correct profile was facing the mobile phone camera that his friend was filming. So I realized, these are the 7-8 guys who are out to, make a tamasha. So I after, trying to speak to them twice, when I realized that they're not interested in speaking to me, then I just made my way to the entrance.
Kabir, you must have been confronted with questions on your trip, in particular about Phantom, that was banned in Pakistan, which of course has Saif playing a character who goes in post 26/11 and takes out a few terrorists, including Hafiz Saeed. You know, it's
and Ek Tha Tiger. My earlier film Ek Tha Tiger was also banned over there.
Yes. So obviously Pakistan has remained an abiding theme of close interest to you and your movie making. And what makes it so compelling to you?
You know, yeah, now when I've sort of sitting after 5 films, people ask me this question, but I never really thought about it. You know, I didn't start out with Kabul Express saying that, okay, let me make a trilogy on India, Pakistan. Kabul Express incidentally was also banned there. But what I've tried doing ever since I started getting into mainstream cinema is I've always tried to put a real context, a political context to my films. And I think because I'm interested in international politics and India-Pakistan relations sort of dominate the proceedings in our contemporary times, they invariably, you know, find a way in the background in my film. And apart from that, you know, it's not something that I've really thought about and say, okay, let me keep thinking of new aspects of or dimensions of India-Pak relationships. They just come organically while I'm writing my scripts.
And Kabir, in conclusion, you would go back to Pakistan again. This would not alter your decision to engage with Pakistan or Pakistani audiences.
No, I must say that I don't think we should allow these kind of lunatics to, you know, completely dominate our perception about what is happening across the border. I met lots of people who were very warm, very hospitable, just the way a lot of Pakistanis would come here and find that a lot of Indians are very warm and hospitable. And it's very important that we don't let these kind of, you know, stray incidents distract us from building better relationship with our neighbors, because at the end of the day, it's only beneficial for both of us.
And, you know, we also have Pakistani artists who've come here and not been welcome.
I think, you know, politics will keep playing out and, you know.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, when you think of a Ghulam Ali, for example.
No, what I meant to say is, you know, politics will continue and hostile politics will always continue. But I think we should keep trying to build people-to-people relationships. That's the only way we will be able to move forward.
All right, Kabir, India-Pakistan befuddles the best of us. It's deeply schizophrenic and it's this bizarre love-hate, sort of deranged relationship almost. But you've displayed a kind of unusual maturity for the times we live in. Thank you, Kabir Khan. Pleasure to have you on the Buck Stops here tonight.
Thank you, Barka.